Henry Kobna Kokofu is a member of parliament for Bantama, and he's here. Nana, it's saying, why are you in black? And I wanted to ask you, but couldn't ask. Why are you in black?
Can I send my usual greetings?
Oh, you can. Nana Dankwe Kufado.
Alaji Dr. Baumia. Yes, greetings to them and their spouses this morning, as well as your cherished viewers and my colleagues, brothers and sisters from Bantama constituency. Yes, you asked about my black and red. Today, since yesterday, we had the Bantama Hine, who is the warrior general of the Ashanti Kingdom of Osetu Abebiu, Tumfor the Asante Hine. Nana passed away, Obafo passed away some weeks past, and as tradition demands, he ought to be given a farewell, a befitting one. And so the whole ceremony started yesterday. And right after Parliament, I'm on my way to Kumasi to go and join.
So you'll be going today?
Yes.
Close up today?
Yes, close up today from Parliament. And Nana Dankwe Akufo-Addo and other dignitaries, including the acting chairman of our party, will also trudge to Kumasi to sympathize and condole the Asante Hene and the bereaved family, as well as all of us. So I'll take opportunity and to wish the bereaved family, particularly the widow and the children, my heartfelt condolence, and that of all of us. We will be going, and I'll have to be there.
Well, we also use the opportunity to commiserate with the whole traditional area and the family as well. But let's look at the issues foremostly. Did you greet another Dankwe Akufo-Addo? You've done that already?
Yes,
okay.
and Alaji Dr. Baumia.
Oh, you have?
Unless, of course, you want me to repeat it.
Repeat it. No, I'll surcharge you. But let's look at the foremost issues. And we know that the Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Henry Kofi Wampa has indicated that selling assets of DKM Finance might not even be enough to pay off deposited. And the governor disclosed this when he appeared before Parliament to answer questions from members over development at the microfinance company. And already, Member of Parliament from Kranza North, Major Retired Derek Odro, says Parliament was not satisfied with the response of the governor when he appeared before the committee.
The governor of Bank of Ghana came to Parliament today, as I speak. He came there. We just closed from Parliament at exactly 8 o'clock in this night. And he wanted to extricate himself from the blame, even though the President had already made a ruling and had already directed that the money should be paid. So at the end of the day, we said we were not satisfied with the answers given, and therefore we were going to call him back to come and implement the President's directives that the money should come back to those people who invested their money into those companies, and therefore the business committee, the Speaker directed that the business committee should schedule the Bank of Ghana, the Governor of Bank of Ghana, to appear again somewhere next week, so that he will come and then we find the roadmap, how we're going to pay the money, and not what happened, who did what, and that kind of thing. That one we've passed through passed that stage completely, and therefore all that we are looking up to is the way we are going to pay.
And I also have here with me Kobna Minta Kando, and Member of Parliament for Draboso. Thanks for joining me. He's also the Deputy Minister for Water Resources, Mines and
Lands and Natural Resources.
Okay, Lands and Natural Resources. Yeah. Sorry for forgetting your ministry. Don't worry. Because you don't invite me to your office, so that's why. Anyway, he was on Bedroom. That is the morning program for our sister station, Adom. And that's how come we had to swap him quickly. He's doing a yeoman's job. But let's look at the Bank of Ghana governor's response. And Nana, let's look at that, all that has happened with DKM and Parliament not being satisfied as far as the committee is, and Parliament not being satisfied with his responses. Because already he's told the committee that even following the liquidation, or even if there is, and they have to sell off the assets of DKM, it can't offset you over $100 million that or Ghana cedis that the microfinance company owes its depositors.
Yes, it's very unfortunate, and people have said so many things about this scam. And
it's a scam?
Yes, of course. DKM thing.
Not wrong at all.
Yes, very, very. And unfortunately, as a nation, we have not learnt our lessons. Both institutions and we, the citizenry. This is not the first time that we are having such a calamity on our hands. People have died already. Others have committed suicide, and others have been plunged into not to be recovered kind of illness due to these circumstances. And Piram comes in mind easily, and other situations. There was this American sort of tilapia thing. So all there, and people have lost huge sums of money. So I would have thought that our institutions, our regulatory institutions, particularly Bank of Ghana in this instance, would have put their acts together and nip in the bud any attempt by individuals or group of people parading themselves as companies, microfinance and all those things to dupe the unsuspecting public. However, the public also have a responsibility to be aware, vendor aware and buyer aware. This is a very, very popular dictum in the law circles. So for how long would we sit there and continue to be cheated by these unscrupulous people coming as investors and businessmen? This particular thing, the DKM, has attracted so much views and so much public attention because of the nature they sprang onto the scene. They came with full force, and one would suspect or one would think that these people come with some kind of credibility, and for that matter, we can confidently go in with them. Some have alleged the involvement of even the First Lady. Yes, I'm saying allegation. Yes, and you know they've alleged, and whether it is true or not, that is another issue. That's another matter. But I'm talking about how this DKM was given that kind of prominence and all that, particularly stationed in the Brong-Ahafo region. And you remember these buses, the DKM buses, they were trudging from Accra to Brong-Ahafo region and all that. So people thought they are in for good business. There are a lot to come. There are a lot more people in this thing who are behind. I mean, who have not been uncovered. You understand? And very soon, these things will pop up. It will surprise most people that this DKM reinvested in some kind of other businesses and some kind of other individuals to undertake certain specific projects. So people's monies have been just thrown out to satisfy other people. And very soon, very, very soon, very soon.
You have information on that?
Yes, I'm doing my own investigations and all that. We have information, and very soon we will supply to the investigators what we know or what we have learned of some of these people. People's names are being mentioned and all that, but there are others who are cool out there, and they are our corporates.
And they've all been beneficiaries.
Yes, they have been beneficiaries. So if the Bank of Ghana governor comes and talk, they should dispose of the assets, however how much money they would realize can go out there. But the Bank of Ghana, the governor, is so much in the news this time around, and it is reported that he caused for the transfer of some monies back to US, to the UK for DFID.
That's not up for discussion.
But it's so serious. So if my colleague Napo is calling for his resignation, I think we should go beyond that. We should investigate why that money was sent in excess of.
Maybe we can look at that towards the tail end of this very discussion on this. But while you make commentary on this, is the fact that beyond what the Bank of Ghana governor is saying, is the fact that they should have policed. They are supposed to be the supervisory agency for all the financial institutions. Now, for us to wait till the tune of over 100 million Ghana cedis to be bent just like that, that is the difficulty. It's not really a government matter, is it?
Fantastic.
It's a matter of regulation and regulatory institutions.
Yeah. Roland, let me first and foremost say good morning to our viewers this morning. And you've stated the reason why I am late, and so I think that I should not repeat that. I am one of the people who were not satisfied about the responses of the governor yesterday. Yeah,
oh, you were?
Yeah, I was not satisfied. Because you see, if you're a leader like I am, irrespective of the circumstances, if people lose their lives, they lose their relatives, they lose their properties, you first and foremost must show sympathy before thinking about their causes. And so yesterday, what I was waiting, the Bank of Ghana governor has no audience before the House as Parliament.
You mean
they must necessarily come to...
As far as the regulation is, he can't appear before the House.
Before the House.
Because he's not a minister.
Exactly. So he must come through his minister. So there's another way of inviting him. That's a committee of the whole. And so yesterday we did that, and the press were there. So all that I was waiting to hear is how and when they were going to pay the money. For me, that was, in fact, I was not paying attention, I must confess, on this program.
Well, somebody would say that you're a politician, you want immediate gratification.
Exactly, for me.
But that's not how it works in many matters.
Well, if I'm wrong, we can talk about it later on. But I'm being frank with you that yesterday, whilst I was sitting down, I was waiting to hear that, look,
pay the money
this time. This is how we are going to pay this. That is what I was waiting to hear. Though he touched on that, but I was not too satisfied. He said that, look, we are going to do liquidation, and we are going to engage another agency to liquidate their properties, and that if we do that, they are going to be able to offset about 90% of those debts. And it takes some time. It's a process that I think that they must go through. And you see, in an attempt to fix a particular situation, you don't also have to create other problems. And so you must think through the solutions you are giving.
What other problems are they creating?
No, for now, it is not. Okay. For now. And so that is why,
you are posturing.
Yes.
Ideally, if you're taking
a step. Yeah, there are people who have said that, look, why shouldn't government come in to pay the money and all that? If you do that, my brother here has mentioned Peram. What did we do? Tomorrow, if another one happens, what will we do? We are setting a precedence. And so whatever solutions you are going to use at the moment, you should be able to test it such that it will stand the test of time. You understand? So that is why I am making the point that in our attempt to fix this situation, we must be careful not to cause any blunder. Now, after showing my sympathy here, we now have to come to lessons learned from this particular thing. Lessons. Today, you see and hear all kinds of advertisements in the media, on television. People saying, look, you can break sand and I can turn sand into monies. Yeah. And we are rushing for it.
Unregulated.
Can you regulate sand being turned into monies?
No, it's the activities of those people that we need to regulate.
Exactly.
Just like we didn't regulate the activities of the people
DKM, behind. That we didn't supervise them well. You understand? And so, as people, let us limit our interest in freestyle. Anything that is cheap.
That's giving you high interest rates. Mind-boggling. You know it's not realistic.
How can you be getting 40-50% of your money at the end of every month? What is the person going to use that money for to get you that 50% every month? Unrealistic. And I'm told there are educated people,
prominent people who have invested
in this type of scam. So we must learn a lot from some of this. There are a lot out there. There are a lot. We give them the audience.
What does that say about the competence of the Bank of Ghana? Or if not the competence, because all of them, I believe they are competent in many ways. Otherwise, they wouldn't be where they are. But the proactiveness of the Bank of Ghana and its various departments and institutions to do diligently what they are supposed to do by law.
And they did not do, so they are incompetent. Simpliciter. They are incompetent. Nothing more, nothing else. You see, whether they are incompetent, they are negligent, they are accomplices out of after the act or whatever. You put everything together, and that is the judgment. You see, we have Bank of Ghana as the major regulatory organization in this country, so far as monetary issues are concerned and our fiscal policies are concerned. Kwabena just said that the interest rate being put out there is so mind-boggling. I mean, it's something you cannot think about. And we've had courses to learn from. This Piram, this American thing, this or that. And even today, as we speak today, there are some that are operating. There are some that are operating undercover. So if you have a largely and grossly ignorant society which comes with all these economic mess and hardships, people who want to do anything to as it were, free themselves of that.
We don't have to blame the economy, is it?
No.
Because those who
we must go and kill.
No, because those who are investing in this are those who have the money.
Exactly.
So if you don't have the money,
and they are operating within an economy.
Well, I do understand that.
Setup. They are operating in an economic setup, and they want more money, more profit. And we are talking about
then it means the economy is good then.
I'm coming. We are talking about prominent people who do have money. But I can assure you, there are those out there
we do
not
understand.
have that much.
Yes.
Who do not have
understand.
that much.
That is the more reason why your point doesn't hold.
The market women, the mixture. So
Yes.
it's the market
So
forces.
don't politicize it.
No, I haven't mentioned politics. I'm talking about
You don't
economics.
need to mention the political party's name.
I'm talking about.
It's okay.
I'm talking
Don't try
about.
to push it too far.
I'm talking about economics. The economy, the situation on the ground. People looking for, because absolutely the jobs are not there, and investing in manufacturing or in agriculture or industry would have been the best way out there. But people lack confidence in those areas. They don't believe that when I put my money in agriculture, I will realize it and realize some good profit out of that. They don't believe that when I put my money in manufacturing, for instance, you borrow money, you go into manufacturing, and this doomsaw thing was on hand. All you have to do is to shut down your machines, and then within a twinkle of an eye.
You're deviating from the subject.
I haven't. I'm still within. So people wanted an alternative way of doing or investing their money, but they got it all wrong.
The question I asked was, what do you make, or how does it then reflect on the competence, or perhaps also not so competent ways by which the Bank of Ghana should or is not working?
They are the apex body to regulate. They are the apex body that gives permits. They know, and they know through the accounting system or the deposit system of these groups or companies. They have their deposits with them and with the other banks. So if things were to be, in other jurisdictions, today if I should pay $20,000 into Kwabena's account, he will be called immediately. Not by the police or whatever. His bankers will have to call and inquire the source. But here we are in Ghana. We can do things, and we do selective. Our institutions can be competent when they are doing selective kind of workings. So, by and large, we demand more of them. We demand they should take the ultimate responsibility. Yes, they looked
now the governor has appeared before Parliament. There have been clarion calls for etc., etc. What steps should we be taking? Who should we be holding responsible for this? For which the next time we know that at the end of the day, there's a precedence that when you do something or perhaps you don't perform well in office, you're held accountable for certain things because the bank has collapsed or the institution has collapsed. Now it's on the head for either government or a parastatal to take up the responresponsibility of absorbing the cost.
There's no doubt about the fact that the Bank of Ghana is the
ultimate.
Yes, the supervisory body or agent. That one, there's no, doubt about it, and that we all accept and admit that they should have done better than what we see now. But you see, my colleague here mentioned a particular point. But you see, I mean, if issues of this nature happens, we, in an attempt to give a very interesting submissions or express our opinions or condemn, we make very interesting submissions. Could you imagine, or can you imagine, if in Ghana, that somebody will have to be called for putting 20,000 Ghana cedis in your bank account? Could you imagine that in this country, what people could have said about it? Do you remember that the Bank of Ghana brought a regulation that not even Ghana, not cedis, dollars, that you don't have to withdraw a specific amount of dollars whilst you are in Ghana? Did you hear what happened in this country?
But it was not a good policy ultimately.
Well, so if you don't describe this as a good policy, which of course for me, I disagree with you, I can express my opinion on it because I've seen other jurisdictions that have worked perfectly and it's helping them. If you don't describe this as a good policy, how will you describe a policy that if somebody pays 20,000 Ghana cedis into your account, you have to be interrogated? And so, you see, this is our democracy. We are in interesting
So everybody
times.
has an opinion.
I mean, why not?
Okay.
So, I mean, let's manage.
Now let's